Happy Sunday, wonderful people. I hope you have had an incredible week. Mine has been busy but wonderful, and it's great to be spending some time with you again this Sunday on the Jaden Show. I've got a really super cool show for you today. We're going to meet a really, really super lovely guy all the way from the United States of America. He is an indie pop, soul, R&B artist, singer, dancer, writer, producer. I mean, this guy does it all. But I think let's go and see one of his songs. It's actually one of my favorite songs. This is called Signs. This is Tony A.
Here I go again, pacing, craving, going through changes. Here we are again, different spaces, constellations, couldn't be further away. There you go again, seeming jaded, so frustrated, but you say that we're okay. So here we are again, intoxicated, tripping the days, wishing for another way. I don't like when I misbehave, but my heart's beating out my brain. I don't want you to hurt no more. Still there's secrets behind closed doors. I can't tell if it's me to blame. Are we caught in a twisted game? Is it too late to stop myself? You're the victim, but I need help. Stars in the sky feel so aligned. Signs be our guide, bring us alive. Love on the line, passions collide. Rush of the night, feeds my desires, must be the signs. Here I go again, head racing, no escaping. All the days I can't erase. Here we are again, hearts aching, both blaming, pushing boundaries to the break. There you go again, baked and wasted. I can't take it, hate it when you get this way. So here we are again, on an island, trapped in silence, wishing for another way. I don't like when I misbehave, but my heart's beating out my brain. I don't want you to hurt no more. Still there's secrets behind closed doors. I can't tell if it's me to blame. Are we caught in a twisted game? Is it too late to stop myself? You're the victim, but I need help. Stars in the sky feel so aligned. Signs be our guide, bring us alive. Love on the line, passions collide. Rush of the night, feeds my desires, must be the stars in the sky feel so aligned. Signs be our guide, bring us alive. Love on the line, passions collide. Rush of the night, feeds my desires, must be the helpless and blind. We seem satisfied, nothing hurts like the truth. From ashes we rise, our love's redefined. I'll follow the signs to you. Stars and light feel so satisfied.
Let's go and meet this week's very special guest, the amazing Tony A. Tony A, welcome to the Jaden Show. How you doing, dude?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Lovely to meet you. Now, whereabouts in sunny United States of America are you?
I am in the wonderful White Marsh, Maryland, which is like a little north of Baltimore and a lot rainier.
Okay, that sounds a bit like England, actually. But that's not what you weren't born there, though, was you?
No, I'm a military kid. So I was born in Camp Springs, Maryland, but I grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Shout out to the 505.
Wow. So you've been about a bit, mister.
Yeah, I'm all over.
Fantastic. All good experience for your writing, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. So we've just seen your video Signs, one of my favorite tracks out of all of yours. Some great, great, great music. You're doing quite well at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm riding the wave, man. Like it came and I just said, all right, let's do this.
I'm channeling, I'm on a roll at the moment. That's fantastic. But you also got some of your singles to #1 on Reverb Nation and the LGBTQ charts as well, right?
Yeah, I did. A lot of my songs were luckily to chart on a lot of indie charts. My song Getaway charted on the LGBTQ charts with the Q Reviews, which is a very popular station in Canada. Shout out to them. They've been great to me. Also, Pompeii, it's hit #1 on Reverb Nation. I've hit like top 10 on a few different indie charts. I've hit top 5 on a UK indie chart with different songs. Like it's awesome when people get it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And it must be almost kind of semi mind blowing for you, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like I've been an artist, probably coming up on 10 years now, and probably spent about 7 of it figuring out what the hell I was doing.
What the artist you were, yeah.
And then the other 3, like, once I figured it out, was just like, okay, can somebody just see that I got something here? So it's been a crazy year.
What were the things that were kind of really heavily instrumental on finding Tony A as an artist?
I think the first thing that I had to do was get comfortable with Tony A as a person.
Okay, good idea.
I spent a lot of time trying to be what I thought people wanted me to be, and making the music and making the sound that people were telling me I should make. And after a while, I just said to hell with that. And I just wanted to sing what I wanted to sing, the way I wanted to sing it, the way I wanted to present it. And go figure, once I did that, all of a sudden my stuff starts taking off.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I guess it's part of the history of the music industry as well. Like even when I was signed to some major labels when I was, in my 20s, before I became an old bastard. And even then people were just like, God forbid you ever put like a saxophone when a saxophone wasn't trendy, or you kind of went from a little bit pop R&B into a little bit, I don't know, dance pop, because, like you've got to stay 100% on your genre. And it just it kind of really just narrows your ability to discover, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I got told everything from I'm too black to be singing pop. I'm too gay to be singing R&B. I'm too old to be singing and expecting top 10 hits. I'm too young to like literally. And you spend so much time obsessed and absorbed with that. And it's just like, why are you listening to these people? Like, just do what you want to do. Like, whatever room they all sat in and decided that this music that people have been putting out for years and for generations, because music has always been a part of what we do as human beings, right? And like one day a bunch of people sat in a room and said, we're going to be the ones to make the rules on what works and what doesn't. And it's like, literally, like, why? It doesn't make sense.
And probably 90% of them can't even sing.
That's the thing. Artistry goes so far beyond just that. It's like you can be the most talented person in the world and only have 2 streams and nobody gives a damn, right?
Yeah,
or you can sound horrible and be trending with 1 million views on TikTok.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's funny, like, so when I was younger, I was typical slim little pretty blonde boy. So I was perfect boy band pop material. And then all the producers saying, you need to sound more black. And I'm like, how do I sound black? I'm a little white boy. And like, no, you need to sound more black. And I'm like, I don't even understand what that means. So the only thing I could think of, I was really heavily into like Toni Braxton and the way she used to kind of crack her voice and chop her voice, like that real emotion, like, who do you think I am? Don't you know? And I was like, right, I'm going to sing a song. Yeah, that real kind of like that, just like, it wasn't like loads and loads of trills and stuff like Mariah Carey. It was just like Tony just had it like on it. It was very sensual, very clipped, very wonderful. So I think, well, I'm going to try and do that. And then, and it took me a long time. Like, I really didn't suss it on any level, even remotely. And then I got to a stage where I recorded this acoustic R&B track. It was really lovely, called "Gotta Let Go," and went to the producer's house, who had heard my demo and really liked it. And he went, "Oh, you're a white boy." I went, "Yeah." He said, "No, man, your look don't suit your voice." Oh my God. No, what can I do? So I just thought, like you've done yourself now, I don't need to. My expectations are zero, therefore my surprises are endless. So I'm doing it because I love it, and I'm just whether I sing Halo by Beyonce or I don't know, like something by the Eagles or something by Pavarotti, I'm just Jaden singing it. And I think that is the key to, and then defining what success means. So if it's a mansion with a swimming pool, yeah, I don't have that shit. But if it's traveling the world and meeting lovely people and just doing what you like to do, then I'm super successful, man.
Yeah, I'm successful in my own right. And like, my resume is nothing to scoff at, right? Like, I've performed on TV. I've been at Carnegie Hall. I've traveled. I've sang backup for people like Kanye West, Fantasia, Kid Rock. So like, it's like, yeah, if we want to rattle that stuff off, I can. But you know what I like more? I just like all the different people that I connect with. I like that I'm always have a gig. Mm-hmm. Like, it's nice to know that, yeah, I work a job. I got to put food on the table. But like, for the past, 2 years, I haven't done a single gig for free. That's a good feeling. That's like, right. I don't care how much it is. I just committed and said, you know what? I've been doing this shit for a long time. So I don't think it's bad for me to say, please pay me for what I'm doing.
No, absolutely.
And people agree. Go figure. And even music videos. I grew up with late 90s, early 2000s. That was prime for video era, boy bands, pop surge, all that stuff. And so like, I love making music videos. They're like, "Oh, you're wasting your time investing." No, I like it. That's a part of what I do.
I think it's one of the most enjoyable parts of it all, because the other parts of it can be a bit of a slog sometimes, to be fair.
And I mean, in a music video, you can be whoever you want. Yeah. So I can be anything. One of my songs, I literally paid tribute to every video game and weird, nerdy things that I like. And like, honestly, like, once you start being true to that stuff, and it's just like, yeah, I'm a little mix of everything. You can't put me in a box. And all my music is going to sound different. It's all going to have different elements, but there's going to be that little signature that lets you know that it's me. And once I figured that out,
it's always Tony A, right?
It's always Tony A.
Yeah,
and it's amazing. Just me showing you different aspects and facets of who I am.
No, amazing, man. You're doing it exactly the right way. How did it all start for you? Was you kind of just like sitting back and then all of a sudden, I don't know, I'm quite a bit older than you, so I don't know like who was around stateside in the late 90s, but
I mean, I grew up, so I was born in the late 80s. So I really grew up with listening to everything from Michael, Janet, Madonna, Duran Duran, Run DMC, Mariah Carey, Britney Spears, Usher. Like you can't, but then I also like really enjoyed Fantasia growing up, like in Disney movies. And I got introduced to anime at an early age, and I used to sing along with the opening credits of Dragon Ball Z. And so then I moved out to New Mexico and I started getting into all that. I just salsa, merengue, like different things of that nature. And it all came together and just made this weird dramatic. I always like to say that I perform like a Glee kid who grew up to be a drag queen, but I'm a pop artist. Like, you can really palette swap.
You covered everything in just that one statement.
If you really break me down, like, I am that kid that was in show choir, singing covers and all that, like, pop wash stuff, and like where everybody else was like, I hate that stuff. I'm like, man, I love that stuff. Send me to Disney. I used to tell people all the time, I was like, send me to somebody's studio. A label would love me. I was like, I won't love a label, but a label will love me, because you'd be like, this is what I want you to do. Sure, I can do that. But then I found my own voice somewhere along the way. I used to be the background person. I liked directing. I liked writing. I liked organizing. I didn't think I had a strong enough voice to be up front. And one day I just didn't care about that. I was like, if you don't like me, you don't like me, but I sound the fuck good and I sound better than somebody. So it's just like, somebody's going to listen to me. And if not, I just wanted to do it for myself. And then it just caught on.
So who would have been your coming in from school, want to listen to some music, I'm going to put on today.
Okay.
Fill in the blank.
I'm either listening as a kid, I was either listening to Mariah Carey, Britney Spears, Three Doors Down, or Good Charlotte.
Okay, so they were your immediate go-tos, right?
Those were, on any given day, you could get me listening to any of those. And then outside of that, it's just whatever comes my way. But those were ones that I would hit every day.
They were your regulars. And would you say they've been an influence in the music that you enjoy? Or, I mean, do your likes influence your music, or does your voice influence your music? Or is it both?
It's a little bit of both. So for me, I've always told people that while I can appreciate the singers, the voices, right? The Gladyses, the Whitneys, the Steven Tylers, like, who can just sing. I have always found myself drawn to the ones who can put on a show, the performers who like give you Janet Jackson, Britney Spears. I remember being in awe when I saw her walk with that snake across the stage. And I was like, that's me. Like seeing, you know, Usher dance back and forth, Chris Brown, like just seeing all these performers just get up there on the stage, production, costumes. Like I said, the show choir kid in me just loves to dress up and dance and sing. So it was like, that's what I love. So my personal style comes from that. I will say that as I've gotten older, I have learned to embrace and appreciate my voice, which has allowed me to mature my sound into something very unique. So now it doesn't just sound like I'm a pop fan. It sounds like I'm a pop fan who is also a pop artist now. And I appreciate that.
Amazing, amazing. When did you discover that music wasn't just about sitting home listening to and want to, you know, like, when did it start to kind of tilt in the direction of, damn, I need to take this a little bit more seriously and see where this goes?
I think probably at the point where I was just really uncomfortable and unhappy doing music in any other way. Okay. Like I was doing stuff with groups. I was singing here and there. I was performing at schools, like just little stuff when it came up. And after a while, I just hated it. I didn't want to do it. It wasn't fueling me. It wasn't fueling my creativity. And eventually someone said, you just keep trying to avoid it, but you should just go do your own thing. And I was like, I hate when people do that though, when it's like they're good at other stuff and I didn't want to destroy all the groups that I was in and everything like that. And then finally I was like, no, I want to do my own thing. And that's what it was when I was just like, I've got something here. If I can make everybody else as successful as I have, I wonder what I could do if I put my hands on me, like seriously, take myself seriously.
That's amazing, man. So what has been your highlight so far?
Well, the biggest highlight for me recently has honestly been my recent success in the LGBTQIA community. I used to identify and tell people all the time that for a very long time, I've always been that safe person, right? So I was the safe Black kid that didn't make things uncomfortable for you when I was in, you know, mixed areas. I was the safe gay kid who was around, you know, all the straight and cisgender people, and I never made them uncomfortable because I never did anything too overtly gay. But through that, I got ostracized from all of my communities. And so the biggest thing for me is I made a promise to myself. I said, at the end of the day, I don't care who listens to my music. Please enjoy it. My music is for people that look like me. My music is for people who need to see people like us represented. And the biggest joy for me was when I got invited to perform at Toronto Pride last year. It was actually my first time going to Pride at all. So I experienced Pride as the first time as a gay man, and I got to perform. And I remember just screaming at them. And I was just like, y'all, I came all the way from Baltimore. I might not ever do this again. So even if I'm horrible, y'all just enjoy me. And when I finished my last song, as I was taking my bow and walking off the stage, I didn't look back because I was going to get emotional, but I could literally hear them going, Tony, Tony. And I was like, that's so cool.
Amazing, man.
So like that was probably a really epic moment for me. And then honestly, I got featured in Bear World magazine. Shout out to them. They're great supporters of my music. And that hit me on a different level because I struggled a long time with my appearance, low self-esteem on my looks and stuff like that. and they featured one of my songs in one of my videos, and it got featured because of how sexy I was in it, and how good I look and how good the song looked. And I was like, oh, me? Like, so that was another cool moment of like people in my inbox, like, I saw your article in your video, like, it's so hot. Like, I was like, oh, I have people in my DMs. That's pretty cool. I must be on the right track.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the I don't know, that I think it seems to be one of the main common denominators of creative people is the fact that they are really judgmental with themselves, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to be so hard on myself. I used to hate my voice. I grew up with a raspy voice naturally. And I grew up with people always saying, are you hoarse? Are you this? Are you that? I was like, no, it just always sounded like this. That's what it's always been. And like, I used to grow up remembering how people used to look at singers like Macy Gray, same effect with Seth Michelle sometimes. Even John Legend at the start of his career, I remember a lot of people didn't like the tone of his voice. And that really used to discourage me and make me think that, okay, I was like, yeah, people just don't like what I have to, especially for pop, right? Because pop, you want smooth, you want something that you can form and put to any type of track and can be very commercial. And that's not my, which is why I call myself a pop soul artist, because you're going to get that pop sound, but there is no way to hide the soul and the strength and that the power that my voice carries. But I'm lucky because now I have an amazing producer. His name is Garrett Atkinson, and he's with GDA Productions. He's been my producer for a while. I literally told him he stuck with me because he did the one thing for me. I've had tons of producers have me in the studio. He was the first one that stopped me and said, I'm going to make you redo that because I don't hear enough of you. And the best about you is you. He was like, I can make any of these songs work, but I never want you to be up there sounding afraid of what your voice does. Trust me, put your voice out there. I like your voice. I will make it sound amazing. And that was the first time anybody ever told me that. Like, my voice was good enough and to stop intentionally hiding it. And so, like, artists, get yourself somebody who enjoys
it. That's a lucky find, mate. I'll tell you, because it's 32 years, I've not met one like that.
Listen, like, I have anxiety. So, like, if you put me in the studio and the person doesn't like my voice, and every time I sing, they're like, you sure? You want to try that again? And it's like, all right, I sang every pitch right. I really don't know. Like, there was feeling, there was passion. I meant the words. You just don't like my voice. And it's hard to be able to get your vision to come to life. But when you have somebody there who's like excited, it's cool. Look through the mirror and you see the producer getting lost in the moment because they're jamming to you. Like,
I think sometimes with the producer thing, it's also more about their, if you're good enough that you can do it in one take, then maybe they're not doing something right, or they're not. So, you know, I think we can do one better. I think we can get a little bit more, you know, like passion in that vocal. So, you know, 15 takes later, now you're sounding drained and pissed off, and you don't want to be there anymore.
You're irritated. You hate the song. Yeah, you're like, this song. I don't even want to sing this song.
Why do I do this? I'm going to work for a supermarket. Like, fuck it. You know? So, yeah.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's more about the producer than it is about the artist as well.
For sure. And I hate that. And I appreciate a selfless producer that understands that it's not, I mean, it's about them because they're putting their stamp on it, right?
Absolutely.
But it's really about the artist feeling comfortable so that they can do what they do. Like, there's some days I'll go in and I only need 30 minutes and we're in and out. But, you know, I grew up in choirs doing music. So I grew up learning to practice beforehand. I'm not that person that comes into the studio with a blank page and a dream, like, hey, we need 8 hours because I don't even know what to start to write. When I come in, I know what I want to do. And the studio, more so for me, is taking what I've already created and polishing it and making it the best that it can be. So, like, and that's the thing I love about the producer I have now. He works with my speed because I'm that person. If it's taking too long, I'm like, I'm out. This is not working.
It becomes a job then and not a joy.
Yeah, no, I don't mind putting in the work and it taking a long time, but it's got to be for a reason.
Yeah,
if we're just going around in circles for no reason, that's stupid, and I'm not doing that.
No, absolutely. Out of all the songs you've written, which one would say is your favorite?
Funnily enough, most recently, Signs is my favorite. That I wrote, and it's because a lot of people don't know this. I've been sharing it more in interviews. I was a writer growing up. When I write, I create layers to my songs. So for me, my songs always deal with multiple things. Okay. So in particular with Signs, I wrote it on the surface level to be very kind of flirty and kind of like intoxicating. Like you want to be around this person and very hypnotizing. But the song is about being an abusive person in a relationship. It's like, I know that I'm fucked up for what I'm doing. I know that I'm bad for you. And I know that I'm making poor decisions and I don't care. And even more than that, I'm going to sing it in a way that you don't care. But I'm literally singing about how I'm complicating everything. And it wasn't just about relationships because I didn't have it was really about like it was about my frustrations of dealing with people who were in my life who were like saying that they were going to do ABC, but it was like I was always dealing with like apples, oranges, and bananas. Like we're not even in the same scope. Like, but I was still there every day. And it was just like it felt like you were toying with me. And so I wanted to play with people with signs. And then, I included all different influences. I love musical theater and Broadway, Lin-Manuel. So I put in motifs because it's a big thing that me listening to him got into. And I did so many metaphors and so many illusions. And when you're writing and you're just like, shit, that's fire. Like you excite yourself. And that was me. I just kept writing and I wrote Signs. It was the last song on the last album. It wasn't supposed to be on there. I was riding in the car and we're talking about a 15-minute car ride to work. YouTube auto played a track after I was done listening to my playlist for the studio. And I was so inspired by the song that while I was driving, I wrote Signs. I wrote Signs in 15 minutes. And I literally just wanted it to be a clusterfuck of confusion. And that was what I wrote because that's what I was feeling at the time. And it's become my favorite song. I think it's one of the best, most sophisticated songs that I've written, like musically. Like I love it. And I'm so glad that it's catching on because sometimes the song that you like isn't the song that gets
isn't
big.
The one that everyone gets, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I love the love that Signs is getting right now. I think it's highly underrated lyrically, and like it deserves so much. It deserves all the flowers.
And it is a great, great track. Now, have your music taste changed? I mean, are you still kicking back to the same artists, or have you got any new ones in your little pot of wonders now that you listen to that you're into?
I've expanded a bit. When I was younger, I see music as pictures and like movies. That's how music speaks to me. So when I was a kid, I wouldn't listen to like neo soul or like grunge rock. I wouldn't listen to anything because it would turn into like a horror movie for me and it would scare me. So that's how I really started with pop. I was like, I just want happy thoughts, happy vibes. As I've gotten older, I've grown to appreciate depth and unique sounds. I'm really into Labyrinth right now. Again, I'm into a lot of artists that have unique voices. I'm into a lot of artists that don't sound like everybody else. I love Corinne Bailey Rae. I love Duffy. Some of the new artists that I like, Khalid, Sam Smith, they're always amazing. Demi Lovato, because she's from New Mexico. And so like, I get her. I get the sound, and I'm always like open to listening to a lot of the new music and new sounds. At this point, I really listen to a lot of indie music because it's like that's my industry. So it's like I'm listening to Homer Mars, and I'm listening to Marlo, and I'm listening to Taconic, and I'm listening to Duo, and just all these different people that I've come across. Like I found a whole new community of like people that I really enjoy through the indie scene because now I want something with more substance.
Absolutely. No, that's amazing. It's amazing, but it's also good to keep that thing, that kind of, having that musical tradition, those things that kind of were the starts of that relationship, right?
Oh yeah, I tell people all the time. Like people get mad at me sometimes, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna pay for Britney Spears? I will pay thousands. I will go watch Britney Spears perform a lip sync. I don't care. I will go. That is an artist, and I love it. And I will go watch her, and she deserves nothing but good things." And then I'll be like, "Sure, let's go watch Jennifer Hudson. Let's go do that." I'm really at this point. I like an artist that just knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. I need.
Talking about artists that know what they're doing, what are you doing at the moment?
So what I am doing at the moment is I am actually in my first. I call it unofficial, but everybody tells me, look, it's a tour is a tour. But I am touring. I actually kick off my tour starting next week. I have about 15 stops on it, mixed between the East Coast, a little bit down south, and going back to Canada again. So I'll be back to Canada for Pride again this year. I'm really excited because I'm participating in like 6 Pride events, which is so meaningful to me. I'm going to Western Oklahoma at the top of June. I'm going to be one of the headliners for their first ever Pride Festival. They scouted me for that, so that was very humbling and excited. I'll be in New York later this year. I actually am hosting a first ever festival in my state called Indie Fest, which is an entire day that is dedicated specifically to independent artists. We have over 50 artists slated to be on a main performance stage. There is no out of town, no major label headliner. This whole show is based on local and community artists, and everyone is investing in it. It's crazy. It's insane. I'm working on more music. The cool thing about being an indie artist is there's no timeline for when you come out with more. Yeah. So like once you grow, music to me, I use music to tell the story of my growth and my journey. So my first album that I came out with was kind of like, hey, this is me. Nice to meet y'all. Let me introduce myself. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but hope you like it. My second album, I kind of knew who I was. And it was more so about speaking back to the critics and letting them know this is me. And this is what it's going to be. And my upcoming project that I'm working on is I'm at peace with who I am. So I'm not trying to prove anything. You're just going to truly get what I want you to get. I'm not catering. I'm not trying to get a top 10 hit out of anything. Like if it's successful, great. And I love this space that I'm in because I'm having the most fun I've ever had making music. And so, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm working.
No, I love it. I love what you're saying, and I love your point of view, and I love the fact it's all about authenticity, and you're just being the true you, and that's really encouraging, even for artists, like myself as well. Like sometimes it's very difficult to keep focused because you do a lot of it on your own. Yeah. You just like, oh my God, should I just sell myself to the devil and just go and do like this just because then I'll get a team and then someone will help me and then I got 1 hour a day free to watch Supergirl on Netflix and everything's good, and they're like, no, I still don't really want to. So, it's really encouraging when you get people saying, I'm just being the true me. I'm doing what I want, when I want to do it and how I want to do it. So that's really, I'm super proud of what you're doing, man. I'm super proud of the flags that you're flying as well. I think it's amazing. You're just keeping true, and that's super, super. Much respect to you, dude. Future prospects. What's coming out? So we've got tours. We've got new albums. What are your hopes and dreams for the future?
My hopes and dreams for the future is I would really love to go all over the world and perform. I'm kind of at that place where it's like, screw my job. I will call out to go to Australia today. I want to be everywhere. I want to show that a little gay black boy, from nowhere that anybody was paying attention to, can go out there and represent and kill it and travel and experience all these things. And I want to do it while I can, right? Because I'm 34. There's no timetable for when you have to stop doing music now.
I'm 50, mate. So yeah, I feel it.
Listen, while I have the energy to do it in the way that I want to do it, like I said, I'm riding this wave the best that I can. Like a video game where I want to break my own records. I'm not worried about everybody else's. My goal is for next year, the year after, I want to hit every dream spot. I want to perform alongside some of my favorite artists. I want to get to some of these places and just get to a place where I'm happy and I look at myself and I'm saying, yeah, you did what you wanted to do.
I wish that for you as well. Where can people, because obviously all these people now on my watch my chat show, all 17 and 3 dogs that actually watch it. Now they're obviously going to be wondering, where can I hunt this boy down? Because this boy is saying what I need to hear. Where can they find you on social media?
So you can find me. I'm on everything except for Snapchat because that's the devil to me. And I don't. It doesn't make. Everybody's got that one social media that don't make sense to them, and Snapchat is that for me. I'm sorry, y'all. Anybody that ever reaches out to me on Snapchat, I have an account. I don't use it, but I am on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I love my Twitter community. It's like my safe space where I can just go off about music, drag race, and musicals. It's great. And you can find me at Official Tony A on all of my platforms. You can also find my music on all streaming platforms. Tony A, make sure you use the exclamation point. My favorite, most exciting thing was when I made my name. I have a very common name. My regular name was Anthony Avery. So Tony A was an attempt to try to make it more unique. Then I found out there were like 3 or 4 Tony A's.
Really?
So I put that exclamation point there, and I just made it my challenge to be, when you Google, I want to be the first one that shows up. And now I am. So, much respect to those people. I'm sorry, had to take the spot.
Trying to, but it succeeds.
I wasn't trying to, but your boy is on top now. So just type in Tony A with the exclamation point. Make sure you always use an exclamation point, because you always got to be excited. And you can also follow me on my Linktree, /official Tony A to join I have fan clubs. I have a super fan group that get a lot of backstage access to me and my moments and my emotions and all that stuff. And so, and you know what? You can always email me and hit me up, booking@tonyaa.com. Feel free to hit me up. If you can't find me, I'll find you.
Sweet. Love that, man. Well, I wish you untold luck and success for your future travels. I really hope you'll come back and talk to me again at some point, and let's see how things are going, especially when another album's released, or you've got number 1 on the R&B charts or soul charts or pop charts, mainstream, worldwide, international flights over to Australia to, I don't know, sing on a Kylie Minogue show or something. How cool would that be?
That would be amazing. Listen, I was just about to say, the next interview's got to be in person. We got to manifest that.
Absolutely. Well, we're on the same side of the pond now. I'm in Mexico, so it's kind of just down the road.
Hey, we can do it. I'm always down for a trip.
But I think maybe a duet as well at some point, then, dude. I think you need to be writing something. We could be the next, I don't know, Bo Bryson and oh my God, what's her face?
Listen, we see some great things come from some amazing collabs. So I'm always ready to work. Okay.
Then we are in contact, sir. We are in contact. Tony A, thank you so much for being part of my show. People at home, go and find this man, because you won't be disappointed on any level of existence. Go and check him out on his social media platforms. Go and download his music on all major download and streaming platforms as well. Google him. And make sure that you're double checking that you've got that exclamation mark at the end, because he is the top search and he needs to stay that way. So go and show this brother some love. Tony, thank you so much for being on my show. We will definitely catch up again soon. And in the meantime, keep doing exactly what you're doing, Mr. A.
Thanks. I appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
It's a bloody pleasure, mate. And we'll catch up soon.
That sounds good.
Take care, my friend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
What a super lovely guy, and how super impressive. Someone who's been true to themselves, that always kind of really inspires me, because there's so many people struggling to be proud of who they are. So Tony, thank you so much for your incredible wise words and for being an example of how to be your authentic self. And we wish you all the luck in the world. Guys at home, go and follow him everywhere. Go and check him out. Go and find him on his social media platforms. Go and download his wonderful music on all social media, streaming music, download sites, etc., etc. You can find him everywhere. So go and check him out. Go and show him some love. Go and show him support. While you're there, come and say hello to me on my various social media platforms. Come and say hello. It'd be lovely to see you. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to tell all your friends too. It'll be lovely to see you again next week on another wonderful edition of the Jaden Show. I hope you have a wonderfully blessed week. Stay beautiful. I'm going to leave you with another song by Tony A. This is called Pompeii. See you next week on the Jaden Show. Take care. Bye-bye.
Nice to meet you. Just got here, but I'm leaving soon. You can buy me a drink, that's fine. Don't like vodka, whiskey on ice. Kinda feeling you. Thank you, you look good too. No plans, why you're trying to come through. I'm on to you. Feel like I wanna be used. Grab hold, don't look confused. Don't try to act brand new. All wound up and I wanna get loose. loose in this light, you look so good. You are the moment, you are the mood. So bad, I need my heart removed. Tell me what you wanna do. You wanna pump it? You wanna pump it? You wanna pump it? Yeah, we can pump it. Fun tonight, catch you later, got an early flight. You tryna come inside, you can calm down with those bedroom eyes. Stop now, you play too much. Watch my spot, you're gonna make me okay, you got me there. Come in, don't touch my hair. Feel like I wanna be used. Grab hold, don't look confused. Don't try to act brand new. I wound up and I wanna get loose. In this light, you look so good. You are the moment, you are the mood. So bad, I need my heart removed. Tell me what you wanna do. You wanna pump it? You wanna pump it? You wanna pump it? Yeah, we can pump it. Nice to meet you. Just got here, but I'm leaving soon. You can buy me a drink, that's fine. Don't like vodka, whiskey on ice. Kinda feeling you. Thank you, you look good too.